Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, and Super Mario Galaxy is my favorite game of all time, as you may know. So, I'm just going to say right now, I'm going to set some guidelines for this list. This is going to be the top 10 hardest stars to collect in Super Mario Galaxy, in my opinion. The first guideline I'm going to set here is that this is going to be based on my recent playthrough. I'm very, very good at this game by this point because I've played it so much. I've played it so much, so this is going to be based on the stars I found the hardest to collect still. The stars I still find hard to collect, not the stars I found hard to collect initially. For instance, things that are traditionally seen as hard, like Luigi's Purple Coins, I still have a hard time with, but I think it's a fun challenge for me. These are the stars which I just found downright frustrating and made me want to pull my hair out on my recent playthrough. Things like Bouldergeist, I used to have a lot of trouble with when I first played the game, but now I can do it first or second try. The same goes with a star I oddly found difficult on my very first playthrough, which was faster than a speeding penguin. And also this is going to be based on playing as Mario, not as Luigi. For some reason when I play as Luigi, I can't do the Cosmic Mario race, or the Cosmic Luigi race, the underwater one. And I'm also going to be admitting the, trash stars, because those are so quick to retry if you mess up. I don't really find them infuriating the same way that other people do, and I don't know, but I don't really find them infuriating quite the same way. So without further ado, we're gonna get straight into the list with my number 10 pick. My number 10 pick for this list, which is going to be the Secret of Buri Base. A bit of an odd star to start off with, but I think that the Secret of Buri Base star is incredibly tricky to nab, because for me, this is just one I find infuriating to get. The reason why is because basically what you have to do is you have to lure the the Torpedo Ted underwater to the pipe, to the glass around the pipe, which is not that hard, but it can be a little bit hard to get him to come out and hit you while you're struggling for air, and I don't find the underwater controls great in Mario Galaxy, which kind of annoys me. Also, I'm going to mention that I do love Buri Base overall, but I have so much problems with the underwater sections. But the reason this one's out over the regular stars, because what you have to do after that, first of all, you have to go in there. You have to go in the pipe, which sometimes works and sometimes doesn't. I've had times where I can't get in the darn pipe because of the underwater physics. Then, of course, you end up in the, on the underside of the base. If you fall off those little ledges, you will end up back in the water and have to go all over again. And there are bullet bills shooting. If you get hit by a bullet bill, you'll get knocked back. Now, there are too many bullet bills to deal with, and if you get hit by one bullet bill, and it's hard to lure the bullet bill to where it needs to be lured to, because there are so many bullet bills, they always hit each other. There's also some of those metal bug enemies, I don't know what they're called, chilling around. Overall, the star is not that hard, so it's only at number 10. Next up at number 9 is Beachcombing for Purple Coins. This one I just find infuriating, because this one, basically, it's a mandatory Spring Mushroom level. Now, I got through most of Toy Time without using the Spring Mushroom, including the boss, the Undergrunt Gunner, and the whole Mecha Bowser fight, and the level leading up to it. I did use it some in the Bouncing Around Cake Lane mission, because I actually find it kind of fun bouncing around on the chocolate and cookies there. I don't hate the Spring Mushroom in all instances. This is an instance where I hate it. The Beach Bowl Galaxy. Now, the first thing you have to do is collect 100 purple coins on the Beach Bowl, and if you fall off, then you are dead. You have to start over, and it's a really long level. It's one of those. The reason this one won out over the Freeze Flame Purple Coins is because, first of all, I just like the level of Freeze Flame. Second of all, yes, it does take longer to redo, but you do get a life mushroom for doing it. So, this star, however, on the Beach Bowl, is hard to control because of the Spring Mushroom. Now, you can manage to cheese most of the palm trees without the Spring Mushroom, but there's a couple points in which you'll need it mandatorily when you get up. Before you do the Spring Mushroom, there's some coins that are pretty easy to get, some coins that are pretty hard to get. If you know where they all are, it's not bad. You have to get a few in the water, which of course is infuriating because it's water physics in this game. But yeah, overall the game is generous enough with coin placements. It's not that bad. But then once you get up to the part where you need a spring mushroom, I did something stupid and used it when I could have cheesed it without it, and I died. So if you do the level the way you're intended to do it, it's really bad. Also, I probably would have put Conquering the Summit on here if you was basing things on the way you're intended to do them, because the bats and the boulders, but I will say straight up that I cheat in that level, so there's that. And by cheating, I mean I exploit, do a spin jump, get land on a snowman's head, do a backflip at another spin jump, and a wall kick. Alright, next up on the list at number 8 is one I found extremely hard on my first playthrough. I believe it was the last star I got in my 120 star playthrough. Initially, but recently it only took me 2 tries, so we put Battle Stations Purple Coins from the Dreadnought Galaxy. Now this one is infuriating because if you make a single mistake, you die. If you miss a coin, you die. Basically, you're riding on some platforms, and you have to collect every single coin, and then you ride sideways and upside down, and you have to collect every single coin, and if you miss one, you can't go back for them. So basically, you have to kill yourself in the game and start over. So, that's the only reason it's infuriating. Otherwise, I don't really find it a problem. It's the harder version of this type of mission. There's one in Battle Galaxy as well, but I don't find it that hard. So, but yes, it can be infuriating. Next up at number 7 is the Fate of the Universe. This is the final Bowser level in the game. This is the star you collect there. First of all, the level itself is really hard. There's these spotlight things that do gravity, then there's some lava and ice, there's blocks that disappear quickly, and of course there are bullet bills, which are infuriating to deal with, bullet bills over lava. And once you get to the final boss battle, it's pretty tricky. Bowser, the first 2 phases are pretty easy. You have to, and you do get a life mushroom, which is nice. You have to hit him around when he's a rock, and then you can completely cheese the sling pod phase, by the way. But then the next thing he does is the final phase, which is like the other 2 Bowser battles you've done before, but it's really tricky if you're running low on health, and also because he will breathe a lot of fire, which is kind of hard to avoid, and also he ends up being hard to catch, so even if you get him, you can't really catch him well with his tail, so it's pretty tricky to beat him, and I've died on the fight multiple times, so that's why. Next up, number 6 is Bullet Bill on Your Back. This is from the Dusty Dune Galaxy. I wouldn't say this one is necessarily hard in regards to not dying or anything, it's just super infuriating to do, and it takes forever. Basically, it's a secret mission for the Some Big Sandcastle mission, so obviously the mission starts with the falling blocks, then you have to do that annoying tower section with the Koopas, and there's a lot of dry bones that will get in your way in this level. So basically, you have a section like that once you get the secret, which is raising and lowering platforms, and there are bullet bills. There's a bullet bill tower, and you have to get up on top of it and lower the platform to where the star is, and it's just super infuriating because the dry bones will get in your way, and it's incredibly hard to get the bullet bills to go where you want them to go, and it took me like 15-20 minutes to get the bullet bills to go where I wanted them to go. And I mean, I died once and had to restart or something. It's pretty infuriating, to be honest. Next up at number 5 is Sticky Situation from the Sling Pod Galaxy. This one is just super obnoxious to get because of all the sling pods. It's very hard to aim the sling pods. This is a level where you will be dying a lot. Now, there are plenty of 1-ups in the level, so you don't have to worry about game over, but it's such an infuriating star to just do. There's one checkpoint halfway through, which is nice. Basically, there's a bunch of fire bars you have to avoid by using the sling pods to go from pod to pod, and it's pretty obnoxious, and you will die a ton. Next up at number 4 is the Electric Labyrinth from the Bubble Blast Galaxy. Now, this is the only trial galaxy on the list. I omitted the Rolling Gizmo Galaxy. Although that one is hard, I was able to get it second try on my recent one, and I believe I got Electric Labyrinth first or second try, actually. Because they are nice enough to give you a checkpoint in that level, but I will say for the record that Electric Labyrinth is an extremely frustrating star to get because you have to get these 5 different mini puzzles, which is kind of cool, and then basically do the main thing, which you have to be really, really fast, which is not something you want to do in a level like this. So basically, you have to use the bubble, and if you hit the walls, you die because they're made out of electricity. And if you get hit by anything, you die, basically. So, it's just insanely difficult to do. Next up at number 3. Now, again, I said I omitted Bouldergeist because he's a boss that took me like 600 gazillion million tries when I first played the game. But because he took me a gazillion million tries, I'm so good at him now. I believe I got the Daredevil of him second try this time around. His patterns are really easy. Now, here's the Daredevil boss I do struggle with. Kamala. Now, this is the Ghost Ship Daredevil run, and oh my gosh, I hate fighting Kamala, the refight, the Daredevil boss of it. First of all, she takes 4 hits instead of 3. Second of all, you have to use Koopa shells that she throws at you to attack back at her. Third of all, there's a lot of fire just going everywhere once she and the Magic Koopas go crazy. And it's a very small deck with a lot of fire you have to avoid. And yes, you can take out the Magic Koopas to make it easier for yourself, but it's still annoying. And if you get hit by anything, you die instantly. Yeah, not a fun time. I want to say this star took me 4 to 6 tries on my last playthrough, but I was very tired, so that could be part of the reasoning behind that. Next up at number 2 is from the Molten Galaxy, Fiery Dino Piranha. Now, this is just one of those missions that just throws so much at you. Now, Through the Meteor Storm is also a very long mission, but this one just throws more at you because it has the boss at the end. You start out going across some very narrow platforms in Melting Molten, then you go over to a section where you have to kill all these enemies, and then, of course, you have to fight, before you fight the boss, you have to go in this crazy middle section. When you fall in the middle, you die, and you have to get all the, starships, and it's just insanely hard because you're surrounded by lava the entire time, which, yeah, lava is hard. So that's basically the level, and then at the end, you have a refight with Dino Piranha, except the window to hit him is insanely difficult, and he is made of fire. One of the harder bosses in the game. So glad they didn't make this a Daredevil boss. I mean, that would just be insane, right? Number 1. It's Lava Spire. Lava Spire Daredevil run. What they did for a Daredevil level in Molten Galaxy, instead of Fiery Dino Piranha, which probably would have been the hardest Daredevil boss in the game, no. They decided to make you play the full-out entire level of the Lava Spire mission with 1 hit point. And what's worse, no checkpoints. Basically, this is kind of like the perfect run of Mario Galaxy 1. Now, I will say that it's a lot easier level design-wise than the perfect run. It's not designed to be hard. It's just a regular mission, playing it back with no checkpoints in it. 1 hit point, which, honestly, I saw you in my stream. Honestly, I think it'd be kind of cool to have, like, a game mode like that, where you played everything that way. Maybe with checkpoints, but to play everything with 1 hit point, I think that'd be a really cool game mode. Like Master mode. But I will say, for the record, that this star is the hardest star in the game for me. And mostly because it's so long if you have to retry. It's so frustrating. This is the star that took me the most tries and longest to get in the first place, and this is the star that I still struggle with the most. Because it's an infuriating star. It is a downright infuriating star to collect. And there's not really much else I can say about it other than it makes me very mad when I play it. And yeah, I love this game to death, but I will tell you about something that happened, and you might have caught it on stream. Something that happened in my last playthrough of the Lava Spire level. It was my second, I want to say it was my second time, and I got to the very end of the level, and I died on the last enemy. No checkpoints. Yeah, that's really about all I have to say for this. Other than, but yeah. In other words, Mario Galaxy 1 is still my favorite game of all time. I was able to get all these stars without too much difficulty and too much pain. So, if you liked the video, click like, subscribe to my channel. If you want a list of the easiest stars, or a list of my favorite stars, or a list of the most obnoxious stars or characters in the game, please comment below what you want to see from this game. Top 10s while it's still fresh in my head. And I will see you later. Bye!